For someone who claims to be like anti-American imperialism, to hear someone diss him on him being America-centric, which he absolutely is, that is brilliant. Based! Yes! 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 The war started in 2014. Escalated with the Russian invasion, but the war started in 2014. Absolutely. Like, everyone in Europe is so tired of hearing people in the US take away agency from EU countries. Not everything, not every decision that happens elsewhere is centered around US politics. So yeah, that is the kill shot. Holy shit.
Is a small snippet of a 1 hour and 40-minute interview I did with a local Ukrainian who invited me into the city so I could talk to soldiers who are taking part in the ongoing Kharkiv counteroffensive.
You don't like Dylan? You don't trust him? Why? I could understand eventually disagreeing with him on things. Awful music choice.
Interview aid workers, her friends, and those most directly affected by the war in the area who were willing to talk to me in advance. I really enjoyed my time filming in the area. I think I got a lot of good footage. And so what I wanted to do was first release some of the smaller, lighter footage that I'm not going to be able to use for larger projects because it just doesn't find a way to, fit into the interview questions about her father being murdered by the Russian army, which I'm going to do a whole piece about, or any of the other stories of local schools being hit by the Russian army. So that's why I'm releasing this more light footage first. And anything said during these interviews are not necessarily reflective of my opinion. I am doing this to reflect the views of local Ukrainians who are being most affected by the war and for historical purposes. That's why I will always show the date and location of the interview so people know the context surrounding it and what people thought as the war progressed and as the conditions on the ground continue to change. I hope you enjoy the interview. It was very interesting, and this is just a small part of many, many, many videos like this to come.
What I'm getting from this is what I wanted to get from the 1 hour long documentary, like a more journalistic approach, because this is what Dylan Burns is saying. Like, this interview doesn't reflect my opinions. This is not an opinion piece. This is an interview, and that's kind of what I wanted from the documentary. Like, Dylan taking kind of a step back, showing things, not telling you things. I'm down for that.
Enjoy. So there's a lot of allegations about the Revolution of Dignity, what happened in 2014, being a CIA coup, or the Americans did it, Jesus. And this was some revolution, or like there was American government officials like organizing this. Was there any signs of any of that, and what do you think about those theories?
So I have not received my payment, or at least cookies from Obama still. It's been 8 years. I'm still waiting.
Fucking scammed. People are talking about Slicker. This lady has fought in Euromaidan. Where's her money?
Waiting. Please, Barack Obama, just give me my cookies. I really waiting on them still.
I like her. She's got a sense of humor.
I had not been paid. What's wrong? Well, jokes aside, no one was paid pretty much. I never seen it. I've been every day in Maidan, so I never saw it with my eyes. I don't know a single person in Ukraine who can confirm that they were paid by some kind of like Western something, like America or something. No one talked about America. People think in America like this is why like we want to like be a United States, part of United States. Nobody talked about America at all. No one cared. I haven't heard a single person talking about United States during Maidan. Some people talk about Europe, like Euro integration and stuff like that, European Union, yes. But this was not something we talked about. We didn't care much. It was not about that. So yeah, I would not confirm that this was paid in any way. Everyone was participating in it out of their free will for the dignity of their country and for independence, democracy, and values we find important to be made. I think Western people do share those values.
Okay, I like her answer, but it also is kind of off topic. Politics or pro-Russian people actually mean when they talk about US influence in Euromaidan, they aren't talking about people independently being pro-EU or wanting to change the government and all that stuff. That's not what she described is not at all what's being contested. What's being contested, at least by the more rational critics or skeptics, for example, the money that was allocated to help train and maintain democracy in Ukraine. What was the leaked phone call again? Newland Pyatt phone call. Like, it's stuff like that. And I would have liked it if she actually addressed the actual claims from the pro-Russian people. But this is fine.
Like democracy, freedom of speech.
This is fine because I guess she's talking about her experience, and her experience obviously is like, no, there was no U.S. influence.
Stuff like that. Freedom of speech, I know, is quite big in the United States. So I'd say we share values with them, but it's not about them, not at all.
Would you say? I mean, there's a lot of this stuff. Definitely now, a lot of pro-Russia commentators talk about this. Would you say that this is a very like America-centric view, or this kind of like diminishes Ukrainians' like will to govern themselves?
Yes.
The idea that you're getting puppeteered or something.
Yeah, this pisses me off to no end, honestly. When this whole thing began, I started to look up what Western media was saying about this, what was going on. I mean, 24th of February when the war started. When the war continued, I should say. It actually started in 2014. But
Based, yes. Fuck, I've been trying to correct myself on that too. The war started in 2014. Like, we need to stop pretending that this, like, it escalated with the Russian invasion, but the war started in 2014. Absolutely. I'm really glad she recognizes that. And also with the question. Wait, fuck. I forgot. I had a thought. What was it? Oh yeah, Western media. Fuck. I'm so, like, everyone in Europe is so fucking tired of hearing people in the US take away agency from EU countries. Not every decision that happens elsewhere is centered around US politics. So yeah.
But with Donbass, with the annexation of Crimea, but then all-out war began, of course, in 24th of November, 2022. Oh shit, sorry. So yeah, basically, what I say, I wanted to see what people say. So I watched like CNN, Fox News, like media in America, that what are they saying, right, about us. I also stumbled upon YouTubers who were talking about it, like political YouTube. I discovered that there is such a thing, basically.
Any specific people?
Oh yeah. A specific person I stumbled to, which he's very popular. You might know him. Hasan Piker is his name.
Hasan Piker.
Yeah.
The Twitch streamer.
Yeah. I saw him on YouTube. I don't have Twitch like anything, but I saw him pretty much saying that this war is never gonna happen. Russia is not gonna invade. People, it's all like hawks and like America propaganda.
Oh shit! She saw the like Hasan bad take compilation on Ukraine. I swear it has to have been that.
What's up, folks? I'm live and alive, and we got a lot to talk about. I was right about Ukraine. That's right. War is not imminent. Oh, shocked to find out. Anyway, we're going to talk about that and a bunch of other stuff, so get in now. Possibly a new React series as well, so you don't want to miss it. I think maybe I'll tell my editors to do this, but I think I'll just change, like, I'll change this every day to Ukraine has still not been invaded by Russia every day to make sure that the wishes of these fucking weirdo, like, I'm actually a sock them and you're a fucking tanky idiots on the internet. Will, yeah, change it to Russia still has yet to invade Ukraine. And it's like day 11 at this point, you know what I mean? And time again that I don't think there is war that is going to happen because it would fucking destroy Russia. And I still believe that. Okay? You care more about being like, yo, Hasan, you were fucking wrong. I hope you all get drafted, dude.
Wait, hey. Oh.
I hope you get fucking drafted.
Wait, are we going to war? I thought
no, but I hope they fucking drop your bitch ass, your fucking pasty little bitch ass into fucking Luhansk, okay? To defend Ukrainian sovereignty and its fucking borders, you dipshit. I don't want Ukrainians to fucking die.
You are a bottom.
Okay? But you can. What's wrong with NATO expansion? If majority population voted in favor, would that mean NATO expansion is justified? In that circumstance, NATO is 1000% an aggressor outside fucking force, okay? Russia is not. Russia annexing its own fucking territory that it's had, that its own territory full of its own fucking people is not the same as NATO being like, we're going to turn your country into a fucking base and put literal fucking military bases and rockets into your country. Throw the question marks all you want. I don't give a fuck about the Ukrainian constitution. I don't give a fuck about the Ukrainian like border sovereignty that some of you dumbasses are fucking talking about like you're like a 3%er but for Ukraine, okay? It's so stupid. Crimea is not the same as Kiev, however. Crimea is not the same as the rest of Ukraine, however. Eastern Ukrainian territories have a lot of fucking Russian people living in them because Ukraine and just like Crimea and much of the rest of the fucking country was a part of Russia, was a part of the USSR until not that long ago, okay? People's parents were alive back then. So obviously, there's a lot of fucking Russian people living there. So if you have, but like you feeling bad about the Crimean annexation does not change the reality of the Crimean annexation being a completely justifiable fucking act by the Russian government, okay? So that's it. That's fine. And Hitler invaded countries based on Germanic ties at first? Yeah, dude. Talk to me when he's fucking throwing Ukrainians in a fucking... What are you talking about? Talk to me when he's throwing Ukrainians at a concentration camp, okay? Hitler wasn't fucking bad because he decided to invade Austria. He was bad because he was fucking killing Jews, okay? That was the problem. He wasn't like, oh yeah, we're gonna fucking annex territory with like Germanic people in it. That wasn't the main problem with Hitler, I think. That was like maybe 8th down the line. Like I am more critical as of now. I am more critical of the Russian actions of yesterday than the American government is, okay? Just understand that. I am more critical of the actions that took place yesterday than the American government is. The American government that was agitating for war and said, banging the war drums, banging the war drums, banging the war drums, literally non-fucking stop, saying like Russia is going to murder babies. They're going to eat babies inside of Kiev. They're ready to eat babies. They have a thirst for blood. They have a thirst for blood. Those motherfuckers have now turned around and been like, okay, well, maybe this is not an invasion because technically they invaded 8 years ago. So maybe it's not an invasion. No, this is a legitimized, like this is the actual legitimate, fucking invasion in comparison to the past 8 years of like, look like Tim Pool after that 49 state landslide. Yeah, I would look like Tim Pool after that 49 state landslide if there was a active bombing currently happening on Kiev and like Ukrainians were being murdered left and right at this moment. I would be that way if America was like, we're going with a full-throated, this is a full-blown invasion, and yet it hasn't happened. At this point, I have a more aggressive stance on Russian troops inside of Ukrainian borders than the American State Department does. So how do you pair up with that? Bro, America's literally like, they're doing a fucking W tour. They're like, yo, we're going to predict the misinformation to false flag. Dude, okay, solve it. Solve the problem. What the fuck are they going to do? Are they going to go in? Are they going to fucking fight back? Are they going to like actually fly planes into Ukraine? Are they going to send in the 6,000 troops at the fucking border of Ukraine? Non-believers like you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that they got this one fucking, they got this one, okay? At this point, if you are in a position of fucking power, you had every opportunity to fucking exhaust diplomacy. Instead of fucking endlessly being like, this is a war that's going to happen. This is a war that's going to happen. Okay, then fucking try to solve it.
I don't want to second guess what Mr. Putin is going to do next. That we know he's doing now, and
you could just take the L Ukraine. Wait, no, that's not what I'm saying. America has already delivered the L to Ukraine. Okay, that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying America needs to fucking take the L.
Oh no.
To just basically paint Russia as the bad guy, basically, is what he said. Well, don't believe this dude's prediction on anything, I'd say. But yeah, he is the prime example, let's say, of a person with a America-centric view of this whole thing. He doesn't understand shit about Eastern Europe and what is going on here. He discredits Ukrainians. He treats us as mindless sheep who are like proxy war, he said, like between Russia and America and stuff. We don't care about United States.
Dude, what I love about this too, this would piss him off so fucking much. For someone who claims to be like anti-American imperialism, to hear someone diss him on him being America-centric, which he absolutely is, that is brilliant.
So we care about them in terms with they help us a lot, they give us weapons, they give us aid, we are very grateful for that. But it's not about America and Russia, it's about Ukraine and Russia. This conflict between Ukrainians and Russians and Ukrainian struggle for freedom against Russian oppression, imperialism, started before United States existed. So it has nothing to do with that. And for him to degrade us like that, to say we have like no will of their own, we're like sheep that pretty much got... I had a lot of messages on Facebook as well after my appearance on CNN. They like started, oh, I'm so sorry you're stuck between like America and Russia. And I'm like, we're not stuck between America and Russia. We are fighting for ourselves. This is our war, like the big war. This is the war Ukrainians fought for centuries. Has nothing to do with you at all.
Do you think this at all comes from a lack of understanding of Ukrainian history?
Yeah, partially that.
Where do you think it comes from?
So partially they don't understand much about this area, but they like pretend they know stuff, which they don't. Or not pretend, they actually believe they know stuff, which is worse. But they don't. But mostly it comes, I feel from the, like this very like America bad kind of like logic, which I didn't...
Yeah, she's still talking about Hasan. But yeah, America bad. Stuck between Russia and Belgium, and they're both bad. Exactly. That's just Europe. Europe is stuck between Russia and Belgium. That's the big problem.
Stand at the time, and I was confused why the leftists and people who are supposed to be like for people's rights, for people's self-determination, why are they like basically pro-Russian and blame everything on like NATO and America, which has nothing to do with this conflict. And I was confused about that for a while, but then I saw a person on YouTube who explained it perfectly well, who is Destiny is his name on YouTube. He basically explained that these people, they are like people in America who thinks like America is great in everything. It's like the greatest place. Everyone shits like rainbows and butterflies, and America done nothing wrong basically. But the opposite side of them are like America did everything wrong. So there is no single like policy America ever done that is good.
I mean, she's right. Destiny is right on this, and she's right. This is literally the ideology of America bad. But yeah, if Hasan sees this, it would be hilarious. Yeah, if Hasan took a capital L for loss from this interview, absolutely mauled it. I would love to see his reaction to this. Absolutely, this is brilliant.
Everything they do is bad. This is like empire of evil. But there is a huge similarity between these two. You would think that people who hate America would like not think that everything revolves around America, but they both groups think he said that everything revolves around America. So basically, America is like exceptionally good, exceptionally bad, but still exceptional, you know.
Yeah.
So
this is like also what I mean. This is complete tangent, but not really. This is also completely like what I mean when I say that depression is an egotistical state of mind. You're like got super low self-esteem, you're feeling really bad, you're really stuck in like how shitty your life is, but you're still centered around just your life. That's the only thing that matters to you if you're like deep in depression. And like that's that. Like if it's still America being exceptional, even if it's exceptionally bad.
This is what it comes through.
It's taking away agency from everyone else.
I think they just want to see their country like this empire of evil involved in like everything that has nothing to do with them. So they cannot even comprehend that some conflicts, some wars, some fights has nothing to do with them. And Europe is old. It's old. We have so much grievances against each other here that has nothing to do with New World.
Especially against Belgium.
What do you think that these types of people have learned their lesson from getting it wrong? I mean,
nah, not really.
No?
No.
You don't think they'll learn their lesson? You think
I think they are incurable, honestly.
Incurable?
Yeah. If you're pro-Russian at this point, if you're a Russia apologist, if you
you wouldn't call someone like Hasan like pro-Russia, would you?
I wouldn't say he's pro-Russian because he does not say like, yeah, invasion good. So he's not or he stated pretty clearly that he is against Russian invasion and he considers it an invasion. So no, not pro-Russian. But his language, the language he uses, the words he uses are allowed to pretty much shift the blame to America for that. So basically he said like it's all NATO fault, America fault. If not NATO expansion, this would not be happening. So
yeah, a lot of people do this. They'll like, and she's right to call it out too. They will play this game of like, yeah, the Russian invasion bad, war bad, I agree with you. But actually, if NATO hadn't done this or that, it wouldn't have happened, which is very, very hard to demonstrate. It's very unconvincing to me, this idea that that Russia acted because of NATO, for sure.
Ukrainians are like poor sheep stuck in the middle of the conflict, basically. So this is not like a pro-Russian position, but I would consider it an apologia in a way. So he does not say that this is like Russian imperialist ambition. He does not acknowledge that this was their attempt of destroying Ukrainian identity is centuries long. It's not like yesterday thing and has nothing to do with the United States, like I said. So to me, this is degrading. To me, this is like unacceptable. He absolutely, like Destiny explained, people like that, they just don't see us as people, basically, that have their own free will, that actually fight for values they hold, not...
The Destiny subreddit must be wilding out over this video. Did you see that Matt Gaetz is going to stream on Twitch just in time for the sexual harassment arc? I didn't know he was going to stream on Twitch, but I don't know how long he's going to last. Keffels has tweeted out that she's gonna go after him next. So like he's gonna start streaming on Twitch and she's gonna start doing like a deplatforming campaign against him. We'll see how that works out.
Because someone told us to. So yeah, it's not that America said like fight this war or Zelensky said fight this war. We are fighting this war because we want to be free.
Well, because you got invaded. Like no one in Ukraine, no one in Zelensky's government is like, yeah, let's go to war with Russia. It's Russia invading you
from Russia, and it has been our dream for centuries.
A lot of people talk about NATO expansion. They talk about America's presence in Europe. Mm-hmm. Do you think NATO or NATO expansion, as Putin has mentioned in multiple of his speeches, have play any role in this war starting, or deserve any blame?
This is just a trick they use to explain their imperialist invasions, basically. As you probably know, Russia already has border with NATO countries. So this, as you know, again, only expanded NATO because countries like Sweden and stuff just wanted to join in. And
we've been over this dialogue tree ourselves plenty of times, and plenty of people need to hear this. I'm glad. I'm glad she's like putting those arguments out from a Ukrainian voice.
So for us, having this big of an aggressive,
but I'm like, yeah, we already know all this, right?
Is something that people are afraid of for a reason, as you can see. So they did this shit in Georgia. They did this shit in Moldova before Georgia. So it's nothing new. They just annex territories, they invade people, kill civilians all the time. And people know about that. So for them, NATO is a ticket for safety. And yeah, not actually before this invasion, most people in Ukraine wanted to join European Union, but did not want to join NATO. Now they do want to join NATO.
So why do you think they want to join NATO now?
I think for future protection. We don't trust them not to do this again. So we don't trust them, even if there is some peace made eventually, when we win, of course. But then they will still try to invade us in some time, we think. So maybe getting good alliances with Western countries will probably keep us more safe.
Do you think Russia can be trusted?
No, not really. They have not honored any agreement they made in their entirety of their existence, for starters. And they broke tens, hundreds of agreements with other people. And it's not safe for us. The only way for us to be safe is to win and to pretty much destroy their army and their capability to attack us in such a way that they at least will give us like 50 years before they can do this again.
Do you think America could be trusted?
Well, I think so, yes, in a way. We've never been like attacked by, United States or anything. And United States did help us a lot with this with this like defending of our country. They gave us quite a lot of aid, both military and humanitarian aid, and their support meant a lot for people. As you saw yourself, people would like thank you for, you know, being an American basically and helping us out. So yeah, we much more favorable view of United States than
especially
I'd say.
nowadays after everything that's happened. Can we talk about how much China and India are profiting from Russia's desperation to maintain an economy? We can talk about it, but I don't know how much is there to say about it. They're neutral, so they get to trade with Russia, and they get to trade with the rest of the world that has an embargo on Russia. So there is a reality that isn't talked much about, because people are bitching about how like Europe still is buying oil, gas from Russia and stuff like that, which is true, and it is a problem. But there is another problem. When we buy gas from not Russia, and that gas is coming from, say, India, that is still Russian gas. So are we actually running an embargo on Russia that's effective when it comes to their fossil fuel economy? It's probably not that effective. No, I would argue that there are big holes in the embargo. Obviously, because China and India are neutral. They're a proxy for oil. Absolutely, that's what I'm saying. Oh yeah, you were still typing. The thing is, I do wish they had balls about this and were down to tell Russia to fuck off. But I do also get why they don't want to align with the US, why they want to stay neutral. It's from a realist perspective, what they're doing makes sense. From an ideological perspective, it's really shitty. They're not defending Ukraine's sovereignty. They're not punishing Russia for breaking treaties, for not respecting their neighbor's sovereignty, etc., etc. But from like a purely economic, realpolitik perspective, what they're doing, like strategically, it makes sense. They're hedging their bets, right? The US can't start punishing them for doing this. That would be quite a few steps too far. And yeah, they're going to make a killing. Look, they're going to be the winners. The best way to be a winner when you have a huge war is to be the neutral party that sells to everyone. You're going to make money hand over fist, and you're just going to come out with a really strong economy. Yeah, the bargaining grounds, absolutely.
We did before this war, actually. So,
do you think America is supporting Ukraine out of ideological reasons, out of humanitarian reasons, or out of selfish reasons of trying to undermine a geopolitical foe? Or do you think it's a combination of these?
A combination. I think then obviously not saints, so they have like their geopolitical goals, which is allies with our goal is to destroy Russian government, is to destroy Putin's regime. And anyone who wants to help us, honestly, like I said, we don't have the luxury to, parse out the ethical stuff. Why do you help us? Just out of the goodness of your heart. We don't care, honestly. We just don't care.
Yeah, and fuck that shit.
It's geopolitics.
Altruism is fucking overrated. I'm so sick of the altruist argument.
It's maybe some kind of future gain they want to get from Ukraine, maybe do some military bases, which we approve of here. So anything that helps us against Russia is good to us. So yeah, for us it doesn't really matter, honestly, why people help us.
No, I didn't have a ton of questions prepared about Hasan Piker, but
my hate for him is strong, I'd say.
You would call it strong, really?
Yeah. To me, it's not like even him. It's just he's like the great representation of this privileged American. Where do I even begin with that one? It's like the manifestation of everything I pretty much despise right now.
That is the kill shot. Holy shit. He's the representation of everything that's privileged and American. Oh, that must hurt. I don't get why you would invade a neighboring country. Like, why should we want to have parts of Belgium? Stop.
United States, I mean. So people who use communism and Soviet Union as an aesthetic. To me, seeing him wear some kind of Soviet Union hat with a red star at the top is about as the same as seeing as Hitler, as praising Hitler.
You know, a lot of people would say that's pretty extreme.
It's not extreme, because communism and Soviet Union, which they say it was not communism, but they always say that every country is not a communist country, not my communist utopia, but this regime killed millions of people, Ukrainians as well, Armenians, Georgians, whatever the fuck. So for me to see that hat being worn as an aesthetic flex is the same as wearing an SS uniform. The same, honestly.
But hey, the SS uniform looks really good, you know, Hugo Boss, all that shit. Nah, but this is actually something that I've noticed in general. The people who actually lived through communism, that is like Eastern Europe, and who then got freed from it and got to live the capitalist dream. Obviously, you could argue maybe some survivor bias, whatever. Fuck that. The people who actually lived through this shit tend to not really appreciate this like finagling that people do in the West of like, well, actually, Hitler was much worse than Stalin because the genocidal intention, it's not the kill count that counts. In general, basically what I'm saying is people in Eastern Europe fucking hate communism. They've been through it. It was terrible. They hated it. They know people who are murdered by authoritarian communist regimes. They have family who was murdered by authoritarian communist regimes. The people would get disappeared. They had very limited rights. So yeah, she's right.
So this is like praising this
USSR more than communism in general, especially. Well, I can't think of a communist regime that was necessarily better. Like the Mao's China was really bad. North Korea is still really bad. I don't know that much about the Cuban communist regime, so maybe, but what I do know is pretty bad as well. But yeah, obviously she's more talking about the USSR.
Soviet Union aesthetic, that it was atrocious. It was atrocious regime with no free speech, no human rights, no nothing. Basically concentration camps all over the country to put people there who disagree with the regime, who are gay maybe or something, who are considered nationalist. If you are anti-Soviet Union anything, you are nationalist. So yeah, this is the same thing. This is the same thing to us, and this regime caused so much grief, so much pain, so much death and suffering in this country that to us it's the same.
So like I was saying, I don't have much, like I don't have a bunch of questions prepared about Hasan Piker, but there is one moment that I wanted to ask you about where he was interacting with his stream chat. And he said that the Russian annexation of Crimea could be justified, is justifiable. And he talked about, you know, the polling data and saying like, hey, the people there want to be part of Russia. What would you say to that?
Fuck you. For starters. But if you want elaboration on that, for starters, he has no business saying that. No place to say that. Who the fuck is he to say that Ukrainian part of Ukraine is justifiable because people wanted that? Who is he to say that? How does he know that, for starters? So that polling, when like dead people voted for not being part of Ukraine anymore, it's not legitimate. Not any organization, respectable organization in the world considers that referendum to be legitimate. So
You're saying that the referendum was rigged?
Yes, of course, it's Russia.
Yeah, I wanted to see where she was going with that. I don't like the argument of like who are you to say that? Yeah, you're allowed to have opinions about other countries. Come on, you're allowed to come to conclusions about things. But yeah, the referendum was fucking rigged. Was it rigged? The referendum was rigged. I don't know what Hasan is referring to. If Hasan is referring to the referendum under Russian occupation, then that's really fucking cringe. If Hasan is referring to the referendums that were done in like 91, 92, 94, then that is much more nuanced, honestly, to my knowledge. Who am I to say that about her? Yeah.
So yeah, people voted when there were already Russian soldiers there. Green men, we call them, little green men. So like when there was already people with guns there, the referendum was taken. So how the hell can we say it was legitimate in any way? Plus, if people wanted in Crimea to be part of Russia, that's for all of us to decide. So we vote as an entirety of Ukraine, right? We held a referendum, and people, if we agree as entire country to let them be like separate state or part of Russia, that's one thing. To come with guns, take it with force, another country, and then take a referendum of some sort under guns, basically. There's no legitimacy to that whatsoever. He would not accept such a thing for any other country. It just shows that he does not...
Yeah, he would. He would accept it if it was against America. If it fits the America bad ideology, he would accept it. If it doesn't, he would take the side of the occupied people.
See us as anything else than Russia. He even repeated that.
No, yeah. Wait, let me expand. If the referendum was organized by the CIA, then he would be against it. That's the determining factor.
Me off this like it's very bizarre to see like Russian propaganda. I saw my entire life growing up and after Maidan especially, to see it repeated in English like word for...
I have to say it's hilarious. It's hilarious that this whole interview gets derailed by like Twitch politics bullshit. I love it.
Word is very bizarre, to be honest, and especially from a person who like lives in the United States and is a millionaire. So, you know, yeah, so basically what I was saying about that is that it was not legitimate in any way for starters, because it was already under guns, Russia were already there, and to say that he would not accept that. He himself said that Ukraine is basically Russia. So we speak Russian here. I speak, by the way. I spoke Russian in my entire life and still do. So we are like basically Russia. We want to be part of Russia. No, we don't. We don't, and we never did. We voted for our independence overwhelmingly when the
20 minutes of shitting on Hasan Piker, an origin story, yeah.
Soviet Union dissolved. We wanted to be independent then, and we wanted more than ever now. So it's not true, simply not true. And for him to say that we are like Ukraine, which our names come from like Russian word, which is like outskirts of Russian Empire, basically, is what he said, if I remember it correctly. And this is a Russian myth. Actually, he doesn't know that Russian and Ukrainian are different languages, apparently. So in Ukraine, the word Kraina means homeland. So Ukraina is like in your homeland. So it's your country, our land. So similar to like Deutschland, which is a German name for Germany. So like land of...
That's actually really similar to Polish, by the way. U is at, or like a place, or like at someone's home. U kogosh is at someone's home. And kraj in Polish is country too. Like all those languages have really similar roots. I don't know specifically the etymology of Ukraine. Like, is it what Hasan was saying, Ukraina, from Russian, but like this makes a lot more sense. It's closer, Ukraina, and everyone calls their own country the homeland. That's also where this makes a lot more sense.
Dutch people, right? Or England, like land of English, basically. So it's the same. It has nothing to do with being outskirts of Russian Empire. I'm sorry, this is just so degrading to everything like centuries of Ukrainians fought for. And to see this person just like dismiss us, so our will as people. And he's supposed to be like a leftist who respects the will of the people, what like proletariat want or something. What can be more the representation of the will of the people than a revolution like Maidan? He talks about revolution all the time, and many left-leaning people in the States do. But this was it. This was the revolution.
No, it's only a revolution when it comes from the Révolution region of France. Come on. Pepewant, the girl Neyman is watching. Y'all are just thirsty for the blue hair pixie girlfriend look. Yale has a free course on the history of Ukraine on YouTube right now. Interesting. I like the wait, no, it's the Stanford courses that I've watched. Yeah, I haven't watched I haven't seen the Yale stuff. Hey, Aaron, how are you doing? Long time no see. I have a new colorblind kid for you to bully. Wait, what? Oh yeah, because it's green hair, not blue hair. Whatever. Green and blue are adjacent, okay? The no true revolutionary fallacy. Yeah, it's only a real revolution when it's anti-American. That's what we've learned.
People took everything in their hands and they removed the tyrant they did not want to see anymore.
He did talk about when talking about my
oh yes, this is what I wanted. They're talking about the Nuland Piat call. Yes.
Between U.S.
Does she know about it?
Like a call between one U.S. official and another U.S. official about, oh, you know, Poroshenko's their guy, and like the idea that maybe the United States was trying to move to put Poroshenko in power.
If it was, what else? We voted for him. I voted for him. Everyone voted for him. So yeah, after what happened, even if there is, of course there is, every influence of every country is everywhere in some degree, but he did not say like how much influence there was in Yanukovych. He was a Russian puppet. He like did everything that Russian government wanted him to do. He was about to turn us into a Belarus, which is no longer even a country, to be fair. They like entirely depend on everything Russia does. So the language is destroyed. Like most of them don't even know Belarusian language anymore. It was.
Would you say Poroshenko was installed by the United States?
No, of course not. People voted for him, and he was like not my ideal candidate. But you pick from, I guess, two evils. Mm-hmm. For me, he was like at least not pro-Russian, so that's good. So I voted for him, and for that matter. But we wanted
Bernie or bust. Don't vote Poroshenko. Vote Bernie. Haven't you learned? Vote Bernie, get Trump elected.
To separate ourselves from, no, he was not made to be anything here. He was actually part of Yanukovych government at the time. He was like in the Partia Regionov, which is like his party of Yanukovych, basically. And he was an oligarch, basically, for a long time in Ukraine. That has nothing to do, like I said, with Russia again. And with the United States again. So yeah, we voted for him. It was election. We had two elections since then. So Poroshenko and Zelensky, and it's just democratic elections with some kind of like problems, of course. Like, but still, it's like that. We voted for them. We wanted them as our presidents, and we have them.
That was a cool interview. I like I wish there was just like multiple camera angles to like make it a bit more dynamic, but that was a really cool interview. Also, it was pretty fucking wild. Pretty fucking wild to see her lay into Hasan like that. Like it's what we were talking about too earlier with Chinchilla with the Twitch drama stuff. I felt this where like Twitch is such a microcosm, and you know, people in the real world, they touch grass, they don't care about this stuff, and then you hear this and it's like, oh shit, actually Twitch is kind of big. But it makes sense, she's personally living through it. Yeah, of course. But like what I'm saying is I wouldn't have expected Twitch to be like to matter to her. That's what I'm trying to say. Why does she care what Hasan says about Ukraine? But she does, because a lot of people do care what Hasan says, and he is actually pretty damn influential. He touches a lot of people. He influences a lot of people. So that shit does matter. Anyways.